If I were to give you two animals to choose as a pet, which one would you choose? Let me introduce you to the two animals. This is the underestimated Mr. Blobfish, the poster boy of his population, and that is the overestimated puppy. We are so stereotypical in our opinions of these animals that we are ignoring some of the more bigger problems relating to them. What if I told you the blobfish is actually native to Australia and the puppy is not? What if I told you that the blobfish is almost extinct whilst new breeds of puppies are bred each day? You see, this is the problem. Humans are not recognizing the impact and value of each animal. We are big hypocrites in that we advocate for numerous aspects of equality in humans, but then completely ignoring this when it comes to animals. Such animals, such as Mr. Blobfish, despite their uniqueness and being native to Australia, are shunned and forgotten until their populations are declining at a point where they are at risk of extinction. Let me tell you some facts on Mr. Blobfish. This particular one, sadly without the top hat, was a specimen found off the coast of New Zealand in 2003. Back in 2013, this photo of Mr. Blobfish represented the blobfish population in an online poll to find the world's ugliest creature. He won, obviously. Then he went on to win the honour of being the Ugly Animal Preservation Society's mascot. Just from these few examples, you can get an idea of the mistreatment Mr. Blobfish and his fellow blob family have received. There are currently 430 blobfish left in the world. Do you realise how few this is? The number of blobfish left is less than half the number of Meriden students. It's crazy, right? Want to know something even more outrageous? You have been lied to your whole life. Mr. Blobfish is not a blobfish. In fact, he's not actually a blob at all. He looks pretty normal when he is in his natural habitat deep in the seas of southern Australia, Tasmania and New Zealand. The gelatinous blobs we automatically think of when we hear blobfish is actually decompressed specimens suffering from decompression damage because you took them out of their natural habitat. Blobfish dwell deep inside the ocean of up to 1,200 meters beneath the waves and never venture above depth of 300 meters unless they're unwillingly dragged by a scientist or fisherman like our friend here. It's just like if we go to space without a spacesuit. However, extinction is not the only problem that comes with animal discrimination. Not only are the animals affected, we are affected as well. Enter the ibis, infamous for its long black beaks, long necks and annoying habits for taking the rubbish from bins and your lunch. It's a bird known for its colourful nicknames, dumpster diver, flying rat, tip turkey, bin chicken, just to name a few. And despite their countless names, one thing is clear. The ibis is a bird with a bad reputation. We can all agree that the huge wingspan of the ibis can be seen and smelled across some of Australia's largest cities. And despite being revered in ancient cultures and times, it seems the ibis's vulture-like bald head and inability to keep its white feathers clean is too much to bear for some city dwellers. Hating them is almost understandable. After all, they are dirty pests. But do you ever stop to think why there seems to be so many ibises lurking everywhere? Well, maybe it is because of the fact that we have taken their natural habitat. You see, the ibis is a native bird, but not to the city environment. They belong in wetlands and not inside a rubbish bin. We disregard the full story of the ibis, a marvel of evolution, a sad tale of environmental degradation, and an urgent will to survive. There's more to the ibis than meets the eye. Dr. John Martin, a wildlife ecologist with the Royal Botanic Garden, says, they are considered abundant, but however they are declining in some habitats. In fact, the number of ibises seen breeding in the Macquarie marshes in New South Wales has declined severely over the past 30 years. And this story is similar along the vast inland waterways of New South Wales and Queensland where the ibis used to call home. The ibis's presence in our street is an emphasis on an important message. They are there because their home environment is no longer adequate for their needs. I believe the reason is because of speciesism, the unfair judgment of animals. You see, because we value certain species of animals over others, the ones that we care less about are dwindling in numbers and as a result live in harsh lifestyles and are subject to predators, including humans. After a simple search on Google of our cruelty to ibises, here's what I found. More than 500,000 results in less than 0.33 seconds, all telling of how people have injured, killed, and mistreated ibises. We are not thinking of the needs of all animals. How can we all know about the endangered Sumatran tigers, but not of the blobfish, whose numbers are far smaller? How come there's so many campaigns out there talking about orangutans and the blue whales going extinct and encouraging our support and understanding to not take so much land, but none for the ibis? I think the reason we are like this is not entirely our problem. It is almost a human instinct to judge people and animals on their appearances. However, when you get to know someone better, you tend to forget and focus on their personality and characteristics. For example, before seeing Shrek, you'll see him as an ugly green ogre who has funny toilet plungers coming from his head. But then, after watching the movie, you'll get to know the struggles and the kind and soft-hearted personality he has. There is a reason why Shrek is so popular. People are able to engage and empathize with him and feel emotionally connected to the story. Let me propose a solution. What happens if we do something like this? Maybe the situation can get better. I don't know. But the main thing is that I believe by taking the time to get to know these animals, to empathize with them, to find out more, maybe, just maybe, we can change our views. All animals, no matter what they look like, what they do, have value to the ecosystem and impact on our daily lives. We need to appreciate all species. In case you're wondering where Mr. Blobfish is now, he is happily fermenting in a jar of acid in the shelves of Australian Museum. Let's make sure he wasn't killed in vain. Let's make sure he becomes no longer a symbol of the ultimate animal ugliness, but rather a warning to our treatment to certain species. 3 words, it's all it takes. Stop judging animals.